Well, Patty, we hit the road. We put about 3,200 miles behind us in the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yep.
We had a little issue, an issue we never had in 20 years of RVing.
Right.
And I'm thinking we ought to share that with everyone in this episode of Travels with Delaney,
The podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Patrick.
I'm Patty.
And we are joined, as usual, on the old podcast couch with none other than Truman and Bess, our Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Yep.
You never know with Bess. Sometimes she joins us, sometimes she's
It just depends on her mood.
Yeah, but she's here right now. We'll see how long she stays with us.
She's not ready for a nap just yet, but she's looking like she's going to jump down.
Yeah,
So.
she's looking like it.
I bet she goes over to the blanket.
Oh, she's coming over to the far side with the blanket. That's what she really wants.
She wants the blanket.
That's fine. We'll let her have the blanket. But anyway.
Anywho.
That's right. So we are recording this week in
Texas.
That's right. We finally made
the
it.
Stars are bright and big and bright. It's from the heart of Texas.
Well, aren't you?
Did I mess that up?
I don't know. It might have been a little rough there at one point, but it was pretty good. You're pretty fired up today.
I am.
So
I am.
We did make it. We are
Yes.
at our winter home.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be here through the end of March and maybe even a little into April.
Right.
Still trying to decide when we're heading back. We open Happy Acres on the 24th of April, and Kevin tells me we've got about a week's worth of work, so I think he was telling everybody by the 17th, but I think I'd like to be there a little before that.
I think we might have to for a dentist.
Okay.
We'll see.
You got an appointment?
Something. Yeah. Something.
Okay. But yeah, so we made it, and we're excited to be here. I keep looking at the weather in Indiana versus here. And
You're ornery.
I know. But anyway, we had a little issue on this trip that we've never had, and I thought we ought to share it because we have a little more information now.
Yes.
And but before we do that, we have to do another exciting round of this or that.
Okay. This or that.
This or that, Texas edition.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Patty, since we have been here, we've only been here for what, like 5 days?
Maybe, yeah.
But you have had an opportunity to dine on both a Whataburger and now an In-N-Out burger.
Yes.
So, if you had to choose and you could only have one, which one are you going to?
I'm going with In-N-Out.
Wow, she didn't even think on that. You just made the whole state of Texas mad. Whataburger's like an institution.
I know. A Whataburger, the actual Whataburger itself, like the original, is too much burger for me.
Well, they make a junior.
I know. I'd have to go with the junior version.
Okay.
You didn't say junior Whataburger.
All
You
right.
just said Whataburger.
Wow. So if you could have a junior Whataburger.
I'm still going with In-N-Out.
Okay. And why?
I really like the fries.
Okay.
Those hand-cut fries, they have the machine. Usually, we didn't get to see it when we ate there recently, but I remember when we were in Utah and I went in to get us some grub, you could see the guy actually taking the potatoes and hand-cutting those potato fries. So,
right.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Like
Whataburger's good. I would pick In-N-Out over Whataburger.
All right.
So, but.
Well, I tell you, we've ate at Whataburger twice now already. And today we went to In-N-Out, and I did it intentionally so that we could have a comparison. I will say, I do like Whataburger. I have no problems with Whataburger.
I mean, I'd eat it.
But I got to tell you today, that double-double at In-N-Out.
You had a double-double?
I had the double-double, which is 2 patties, 2 slices of cheese, and it was just so flavorful.
Mine was good.
Again, I'm not complaining about Whataburger, but yeah, and I do think you're right. I've always said I think the fries at In-N-Out are better than at Whataburger. So, but again,
if you took me either one, I could find something to eat.
Yeah, you'd eat it.
I'd eat it.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess enough with the burger dilemma.
The burger business.
Yeah, the burger business. No more burger business. Let's talk about an issue that we had. It's hard to believe I'm even saying this, but in 20 years of RVing, up until this trip, we had never had a tire failure on the road.
Never.
No.
Never.
And you hear about it all the time.
Or you see them and you're like, oh, I feel so bad for them.
Right.
And, yeah.
And so, I think there's different reasons for that. One being we trade trailers fairly regularly.
Right.
So for those of you that don't know, if you didn't catch our prior podcast, we closed Happy Acres, headed to Florida, spent, I think it was 9 nights in Florida.
Right.
And then we headed back to Louisville.
Good job.
I think I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
For the OHCE.
OHCE.
The Outdoor Hospitality Conference and Expo.
Yep.
Presented by OHI, the Outdoor Hospitality Industry.
Man, a lot of abbreviations.
And so we were there for 3 nights. And with Angie and Kevin, the owners of Happy Acres Campground, conveniently located in Angola, Indiana.
Yes.
I guess it's only convenient if you're in Northeast Indiana. But we met up with them, went to the conference. Angie and I actually presented at the conference. And then originally the plan was we were going to head out with Angie and Kevin and head 3 hours west to Illinois. We ended up heading an hour north because, unfortunately, we had some sad news. My cousin passed away, and so we ended up going north for a few nights so that we could attend the services. And then we hit the road.
On
Saturday
morning.
Saturday, this past Saturday.
Saturday morning. Bright and early.
Yep. And so the plan was to get to Texarkana. All right, in day one.
Yep.
And everything was going great. We had good weather.
Not a lot of traffic.
Nope, trailer was pulling great.
Everything was good gas mileage.
And
beautiful weather.
I pulled off somewhere in Arkansas past Memphis.
Right.
Somewhere between Memphis and Little Rock. And we fueled up. We ended up getting a snack and walking the puppies really good. And got back in the truck. And we didn't go very far. And the TPMS
went nuts.
And I guess you were able. I couldn't tell because I was trying to keep
8.
Yeah, and it was was it the rear passenger?
Yes,
the rear passenger side on the
fifth
trailer.
wheel. Yeah,
and it was reading 8 psi. And initially, I was like, "That's not even possible." Like they're 80 psi normally, and it just, I think it went down to 6, and I'm like, oh God,
we got to get off the highway.
And you actually said, I can't see it, but the trailer doesn't look right. Like it looks like it's leaning.
It looked like it was leaning toward the passenger side. Like it was, I could just tell the angle was not
So
good.
I immediately cut my speed way down, and luckily
we were like a mile and a
it
half
said
or something.
1 mile, exit 1 mile or something. So I limped us along. I took the chance that I could get to the exit. Thank goodness there was a truck stop where I was able to pull in to a nice spot and got out, and sure enough, that tire was flat.
I've never seen a flat tire like that.
It was, you could push on it.
Yeah, it was just not good.
So at that point, I just made an assumption that we had hit something in the parking lot at our prior stop.
Right, because the prior stop, there was some really massive, I don't even call them a pothole. I think the little Subaru could have fallen into it. But we had nowhere to go, so you had to kind of straddle it, and part of us went through it, and Patrick did a good job going really slow, and we thought it must have done something there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking there's probably a nail or a screw or something. So we were able to get the spare off, and that was something that irritated me because with our Lance, the spare that came on it was a Goodyear Endurance that matched
just like what was on
the trailer, and it even had a rim that matched. So you could, on our Lance, you could pull the spare, put it on, and it was the same exact tire with the rim and everything. So I pull this thing down because I had never, shame on me, I had never looked to see what the spare was. I just knew there was a spare under there. And when I get it down, it's on just a plain crappy rim. I say crappy, it's fine. It's just
it just wasn't like the others.
So everybody knows you've changed tires.
Yeah, and at least it wasn't a donut.
And no, it was an 80 psi, but it was some brand called Sterling.
Might have well been a donut.
And Patty Googled it, and sure enough, made in China. And I'm like, this isn't good.
Because we don't know how good it is.
Right.
You just don't know.
But we didn't have a choice.
Right.
So I'm able to run the front tire up on our Anderson leveler and use our leveler,
landing gear
or whatever
for the fifth wheel
to get it up enough that I'm able to pull the tire, put the spare on, drop back down, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm spinning the tire. I don't see anything. Patty and I are looking at this, and we're not seeing anything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try airing this thing up, and I messed with it for a little bit, couldn't find it, and at that point I was like, let's just get on the road. So we pull out of there, and I think you started looking and said, hey, there's a Love's in like 20 or 30 miles.
Right.
Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I'm just nervous about this spare tire because I'm thinking, great, now this thing will blow out or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we were lucky that it wasn't a blowout per se.
No.
It was just it lost air.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, we pull out the truck stop, get on the highway. I really cut my speed down, mainly because I'm just worried about the spare tire at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we make it to the exit with the Loves and pull in, and it's one of their, like Speedco. Is that what the name of their tire service?
Something like, Speedco. Yeah, I think so.
I just pull up and get out, and I go in, and the guy comes out and he says, can I help you? I said, yeah, I've got this, I pointed. I said, my fifth wheel had a tire go down, and I've got the spare on, but I'm wondering if you can help me. And he's like, no. He said, we only work on semi-truck tires. We don't have those tires. We don't even have the equipment for a tire that small. And I was like, okay. And I was telling him, he was asking me what had happened. He's like, why don't you go grab that tire and let's fill it up and let's see if we can figure out why.
Yeah.
And so I did. I went and grabbed it. He filled it up to 80 PSI. He sprayed that thing down good with soapy water. Couldn't find anything. I mean, he sprayed it all over twice. And he's like, I think you're okay now. And I'm like, well, do you find that odd? And he's like, well, there could be, we were talking about different things. I told him how we had to go through that big pothole. And he's like, well, maybe if it hit hard enough. He said it's odd that it did it, but he couldn't find anything. So I'm like, okay. So I go to screw the valve stem cap back on, and that's when we realize it's the valve stem. Because when I started screwing on, air just started wailing out of that thing. And he's like, well, I think we just found your issue. And again, he did not have a valve stem or the ability to fix it. But at least
we knew what it was.
Right. And so I will say this gentleman was so nice. I offered to pay him. He said absolutely not. He wasn't going to take anything. I just appreciated him going above and beyond. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we forget, and this really was a good reminder for me, that in any business, I was going to say in the hospitality business, but in any business, if you can't help somebody directly, helping them indirectly is a great way to market your business because I've told several people this story already just in 5 days, and I've said, like, yeah, we're going to try to stop at as many Loves as possible to buy our fuel because of that gentleman's generosity to try to help me. And that was kind of the opposite of the very next day, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, and don't forget, I just want to point out there's one other person that was really generous where we were changing the tire.
Yes.
Another camper.
Another RVer who was parked right in front of us.
He had a fifth wheel, and he was working on his truck. And
he was letting air out of his tires because he was getting a lot of sway.
And he offered,
he came over to offer tools. He's like, do you need any tools? What can I do to help? And yes, RVers are such a great group of people, and I hope he made it to his destination.
Yep.
He was headed to Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we noticed because he obviously got on the freeway and went the other way. And as we were getting on, because the way it looped, we could see he was pulled off.
I know. It made me nervous.
Yeah,
I hope he got where he
Good news
to
is
go.
It was still right at the exit, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we head on. And we go to Cracker Barrel in Texarkana, Texas.
So tired.
And I also want to say thank you to the manager there.
Yes.
So when we got there, the RV spaces were not long enough for us.
They aren't long enough for us. We have to go around the outside.
And the two big areas in the back where you could park across
were taken.
And one of them, I'm sorry, it was ridiculous. It was a small little Class B.
They probably could have fit in.
Pulling a car or something. Mm-hmm. They could have fit in one of those RV spots, but they took up this whole space. Yeah. I tried to pull in behind them.
They're just not. It wasn't working.
I'm not good at parallel parking a fifth wheel because that's basically what I was.
You had to try to do that, yeah.
And so I was like, we're just gonna have to go someplace else. But the thing was, Patty had already ordered our dinner through the app and paid for it. So I pulled around the side of the building, and there was a spot, a big set of
Yep. Kind of.
space.
I talked to the one side.
Yeah. So
Near
I
the
pulled in.
dumpsters. Yeah.
I pulled in. Patty's like, well, I'm just gonna ask. I'm like, they're not gonna want us over here. And so you went in.
And I had talked to the person working at the desk, and then they got me a manager, and she came out, and I just told her what was going on and how we were, probably going to be leaving before 7 a.m. because they open at 7. We were going to have dinner. We already ordered our dinner. Came in to pick up the dinner, and how we were just so big that we can't fit back there, and there's no space. She goes, absolutely, you're fine to be over there. She goes, we have plenty of parking for other guests. You're welcome to be over there.
So thank you,
Yes.
because I was looking for other places we could continue driving to, and thank goodness
I think we were just whipped.
on so
we
many
were whipped.
levels. Yeah. So it had been a long day. I mean, we probably that was
Well, we
probably
left early.
we left
From Indiana.
6:30 Eastern time, which would have been 5:30 Central time. So let's go with 5:30 because we ended up in Central time, and I think that was around 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
8:30?
Well, I think it was 8:30 because
8:30.
they closed at 10. Might
Yeah,
have been
so-
9:30.
I don't know.
Nine
It was
something.
probably close to a 15-hour day.
Yeah.
And really we made good time, and we'd really taken our time, 'cause
Right.
we were just like we weren't in a hurry, so we would get out and walk the dogs and
Yeah,
like that. But
yeah.
anyway, next morning we get up. Plan is to drive a ways, and I had found a Walmart, maybe a half an hour away, and I'm pulling up the jack stands, and I hear something, and I'm like, oh God, what is that sound?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, wait. Like, I sometimes I jump to the conclusion. I'm like, oh, I bet it's their sprinkler system and the water's hitting the side of the trailer. I walk around the side of the trailer.
No.
There's no sprinklers. It's another
Tire.
just pouring out air.
It was like, oh my gosh. And the TPS was just going
Yeah.
cuckoo inside
And
the truck.
so,
Ugh.
and it was right at the valve stem. I touched the valve stem. I kind of got it to stop. And so I said, there's a Walmart a mile and a half from here. That's where we're headed.
Right.
So we get over there right as they're opening at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I go in, and the guy's like, how can I help you? And I said, I started explaining that. First thing I asked him was, can you replace the valve stem? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I got an RV. And he's like, oh, we don't work on big rigs. You need to go back over to the Arkansas side. I think that Walmart has. And I said, so you can't do the tire? He was like, no, we don't work. And I said, I started realizing he was acting like I wanted, because he's like, you'd have to pull up with your, and I said, sir, the tire's in the bed of my truck. And he goes, oh, I can do that. And I said, okay. And I said, well, actually, I have two of them. And the other one's on the trailer. And and before I could finish that, when you get done with one, and then I'll put it on and swap. And he's like, again, we don't work on our, like, he was just, I don't know.
He was just kind of,
I mean,
overcautious. I get that.
I get it. It's a
but
liability.
then he wasn't like willing to do,
anything.
Yeah, he didn't really want to do
So,
anything. And wasn't he the one that came out?
No.
No.
That was the person that came out was the gentleman who was actually working on the tire.
Okay.
So I took the guy that was working on the tire one, and then he got done with it because what happened was I couldn't get the trailer jacked up high enough to get the tire to come off. And at the time, we didn't realize it till later.
The slope.
There was a little bit of a slope in the
Tiny
parking
slope,
lot,
yeah.
and that was just enough that it was sloping the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I did, and if you saw our YouTube video
Yep.
that we posted about it,
We used what we had.
We used what we had. We was finally able to get it high enough.
Yeah.
And got it off. But I mean, he came out there and he saw my bottle jack, and I'm like, it's not tall enough. I need a bigger jack. And I know they've got jacks, but I mean, apparently they're not even allowed to let you.
Well, he's like, "Are you ready with it?"
Yeah.
I went, and it's still on the rig. It's still on the fifth wheel. I'm like, "No." I said, "We're trying to figure out how to get it off. It's gonna take a little bit."
So ultimately, we did. And they did replace both valve stems.
They did.
And I did end up taking the time to put the good tire back on and get that crappy spare off.
And you did a little research.
And then while we were waiting, I started researching and found out that if you run a TPMS where the sensors screw onto the valve stem, you shouldn't use rubber valve stems. What's odd is we have ran Tire Minder for about 4 years and never had an issue.
Never.
So I don't know if the new Halo View that we're running,
bigger and heavier.
Maybe the sensors are heavier,
I don't know.
or if we just got really lucky all those years.
Because these are new tires.
Yeah, they're brand new.
Yeah.
So we ended up continuing on. And and the other thing was I decided I took all my TPMS sensors
off.
So I'm
before we left.
The TPMS is hurting us more than it's helping us at this point.
We just took them off.
So we did get down here Sunday night. That was Sunday morning. Sunday night we arrived, and Tuesday, I think it was on Tuesday, we ran over to Seguin, about 12 miles away.
Maybe, yeah.
Went to Discount Tire. And went in and said, "Do you have trailer tires?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got trailer tires." And so I explained the situation that I have the spare, and I told him, I go, "It's a Sterling. Have you ever heard of it?" And he's like, "No," and that's not a good sign. And I said, "Well, I looked it up. Says it's made in China." And he kind of chuckled and called it something. And so anyway, I said, "Here's what I want. I want to put a Goodyear Endurance on." So that we have, because you need to have confidence in your spare tire.
Well, you need to know, yeah.
Right.
You need to know it's going to do what you need it to do.
Right. So actually, I did not end up getting a Goodyear because he said to me, he's like, "Do you really want the Goodyear?" And he goes, "Here's why. I've got a tire that's just as good, but it's going to save you significant money." He goes, "For some reason, those Goodyear Endurances have just gone through the roof on price." And my gut is they probably went up because more manufacturers are buying them to put them on trailers. So as demand goes up, price is able to go up. And so he sold me a Heartland. So if that's not good, you can tell me in the comments. But the gentleman seemed sincere when he said, "This is what I run on my trailers. I run 14-ply Heartlands." But he goes, "You don't really need a 14-ply for a backup. Your Goodyears are only a 10-ply. So I've got a 10-ply Heartland that will be a good backup that if you have to throw it on, you'll have confidence going down the road." I said, "Great." And then I explained the TPMS, and he's like, "Yeah, you need metal valve stems." So he went ahead and put a metal valve stem on the spare.
Yep.
And then over the next some period of time, before we travel again,
we're going
to change out all the valve stems on the trailer to metal valve stems. So I did a little more research, as in I read the owner's manual for my Halo View TPMS backup camera.
Right.
And sure enough, because I don't read manuals.
Well, who does, right?
It says we do not recommend putting TPMS valve sensors on rubber valves because they can cause damage. So I watched some YouTube videos, and apparently what happens is those tires are spinning really fast, and it forces that valve stem outward towards the rim.
Yep.
And all that pressure can break down those rubber valve stems. So, and the reason I'm talking about this and the reason we did the video is I've been doing this for 20 years, never knew that was an issue.
Right.
And
no one ever said anything about any of that.
No, and of all the RV videos I've watched, I never saw another YouTuber change out their valve. But sure enough, when I searched it, I found RV YouTubers that have put
problem.
Yep. So I thought we need to talk about this, even though other people have. It didn't reach me, which means it may not have reached you. So if you're running a TPMS where you screw the little sensor on, you may want to go get your valve stems upgraded to a metal valve stem.
Right.
Because here, the whole time, I'm thinking I'm protecting us by running TPMS.
And it just caused our headache.
It caused our headache. And
because that TPS... It's loud when that thing goes up.
Well, it's designed to alert you to let you know you got a tire issue, and it did its job.
It did.
Except it caused the problem. So it's one of those where, you're the hero, but you cause. It's like you started a fire, then you put it out, and you get to be the hero, I guess.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But the good thing is we talked about this. I said, it could have been worse. They could have been blown out. It could have done damage to the trailer, the first one, or the second one. It could have. Been raining. It could have been storming. It could have been freezing cold. It could have been, all these different things. And it was decent in order to change it. We had decent weather. We had a space. We got helpful people that we did find. So I guess on the bright side, it was okay.
Right. And a few things I think I learned. Number one, I have carried around for a lot of years that lug nut wrench. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's the one that looks like a cross. It has different size lug nuts, but it allows you to get grip.
Yep.
If you don't have one, go buy one. You can buy them at Harbor Freight because that thing allowed me to get those lug nuts off. Okay. Second thing is you probably should try jacking up your RV before you need to jack up your RV to make sure you have what you need to do it.
Absolutely.
Now, I thought I had the right stuff, but here's the thing. The last time I jacked up an RV, it was our Lance travel trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I just assumed that the way we would jack the Lance up, which was just to put the Anderson leveler under it,
And
under
it would
one
lift it
tire.
enough. Yeah.
But this this trailer has bigger tires,
And it's more weight.
And the other thing was my bottle jack would work on the Lance, and this
Not even close.
not even close.
It's not big enough.
So we needed to do something, which I have done, and I think I've solved that problem. Hopefully it arrives today. But I ordered this. It's kind of like an Anderson leveler, except it's a lot thicker. I think it's 6 inches thick. That you are supposed, and it's designed for changing a tire. So you run one of your tires up on it, and that should give you enough lift on the second tire.
Mm-hmm.
Now that will not work if you're a single axle trailer, because obviously,
right,
you got to have one good tire.
Right.
So the other option that I had looked at, and this device I think was like $39. The other option I looked at was I had found that through eTrailer, they make a bottle jack called the Tall Boy, and it will give you the height you need on a trailer like this. I think that was like $140.
Right.
And I just chose not to spend that money because if this works, then it's cheaper and then I don't actually physically have to jack it up. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. Those might be a couple things you want to consider. Don't wait till you have the issue to know you're going to be able to change the tire.
Right.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for this week. We just wanted to share this with you and not trying to scare anybody, but really just wanted to get the word out there.
Well, and it was just like, I bet other people don't know this. You know?
Yeah.
It's like we never even.
No, we've talked to a few friends already that said I had no idea.
Right. And other YouTubers and travelers and.
Poor Bill Porter. Now he's got to go. He's getting ready to head to Florida in January.
Now he's in a panic.
And now he's like scrambling to find metal valve stems
for his trailer.
So I was glad to know it's not just me that didn't know that or just doesn't read manuals. So, 'cause after I got my Halo View manual out, because I'm like, could it be in the manual? And sure enough, it does say that.
It's right there.
So.
Yeah. Oh, well, it happens.
All right.
Now
well,
we know. We learned.
Huge thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to listen to us.
Yep.
And a huge thank you to Mr. Jim Koosman.
Thank you, Jim.
Our friend and producer who makes us always sound good on this podcast.
Even when we have phlegm.
That's right. Last week we were a little down under
the weather. A little phlegmy.
Jim somehow I cleaned it up.
He did. He did a great job.
He's a miracle worker.
He is.
Jim. All right, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you.
On down the road.
Bye.
Travels with Delaney. We'll see you on down the road.